Here he is, Martin Compston. There he is, Detective Inspector Steve Arnott. Here he is, Celtic fan, born and bred, proud Scotsman. Martin, welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. How are you all feeling this morning?
Very good. How are you feeling? The big night is upon us. How do you feel, Martin?
Mate, between the game today and the show tonight, my anxiety levels are through the roof. Some way I'm actually kind of glad I'm at work just so I can try and focus. I mean, obviously I'm going to be running between takes, watching it on the telly, and I'm in a car tonight, so between both, but hopefully at least one of them will have a good day, but, you know...
Listen,
honestly, I'm genuinely just a nervous wreck this morning.
I mean, this is what people don't understand. I know Rangers have won the league and whatever, but it's still a huge day today, isn't it? It's still a huge match for Celtic fans.
I mean, it's a dead rubber in terms of like the league's over and all that, but there's no such thing as a meaningless game against them. You know, everyone counts. It's bragging rights for the day or that, obviously. I mean, we've had a disastrous season, like COVID-wise, on and off the park. We have just not handled it well. But hopefully today we try and get a wee bit of pride back.
What about the rebuilding process, Martin? What plans do you think Celtic should be putting in place? Who do you fancy mainly?
I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing, Mark. I'd rather it was in sooner rather than later, because every year, I think one of our biggest problems at Celtic, we always seem to do our business after we're out of Europe, and then we start spending money on players. I think we should have a team in place ready usually by the end of January, but we always leave it too late, and I'd rather we had somebody in soon who could have a look at the players while there's some competitive games. Because, again, it's sort of a free hit at the minute. The season's over, so it doesn't really matter, and it's not his team, who it will be. So get him in, try and give him a bit of time, and then let him have a whole summer rather than try and get somebody in. But then you hope the club's got a plan. Maybe they're waiting on somebody, but I really have no idea. But yeah, we need to come out the blocks next year flying. We don't have time at Celtic to go, the manager needs to bed down, he needs 6 or 7 months. We don't have that time. We need to. There's also right now, there's the carrot next season of whoever wins the league going straight into the Champions League. So financially, it doesn't make any sense either to mess about. We need to come out the traps next year. Have
you got a specific favourite, Martin, that you'd like to come in?
A couple, but again, mate, you're just throwing out names there. You know what I mean? There's always a couple. I think the one that kind of stood out for everybody was Eddie Howe. He's out of job, and he plays an attractive style of football. That, again, as a club, it's something that's always been associated with Celtic, or at least our fans want to see. We want to play the game in a certain way, and he's got a track record of building teams. But he's been out of job for a while, so I think if that was going to happen, it might have happened by now. So I really have no idea. I said you've just got to hope that. I mean, it's that thing as well. Like, we've had a crazy amount of success over the last few years. You know what I mean? 4 trebles in a row. It's insane. But yeah, I mean, there's no getting away from it. Everything was building towards this 10 in a row, and we fell completely flat. So I say it needs to just be a blip. There's a massive overhaul needed, but it needs to start happening soon.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just going to bring in a fellow Celtic fan, Vicky McClure, who is. I've really pinned her colours to the mast. It was great because when she did the video, we'll talk about it later. But it was a great thing when she went to me. I'm getting lots of fans of Scottish team. Is it Rangers? I'm like, yes. She goes, they say it. I'm like, yes. Well, you're a Celtic fan now because you're in the Celtic top.
Welcome to that one.
Listen, let me make something clear. If I said to Martin I was Rangers, there'd be problems.
What made me? I mean, for better or worse, I mean, a quick look at my timeline this morning, you'll see what this rivalry comes at. Sometimes, I mean, it's not proud sometimes, but that's what makes it so intense. I remember that day, Vicky just put up a video of herself dancing in a Celtic top, which I had to get her. And she called me that night and said, "Is this what your Twitter's like? It's so stressful."
It is so stressful. What on earth? What's your prediction for later?
I mean, it's obviously I'm always going to back Celtic, but it's just, I mean, our defending on set plays this year has been shocking. Rangers had a big game the other night, which obviously you're hoping to take a bit of the leg. So I'm going to go for 2-1 Celtic.
I'm going to go 3-1.
Are you?
Yeah.
Celtic. I'm going to go 2-0 Celtic. Here's the big question, though, Mark, as well, between me and you. This guard of honour, what's happening there? Are they going to give him one?
Ain't happening.
It's not, is it? And the thing is, they didn't give us one, did they? So there's no complaints. People in talkSPORT saying this to me as well. I'm like, well, hang on. A few years back, same thing. Do you know what I mean?
That's not nonsense as well. We've never given each other either one, so it's not going to start now. And I hate all this be bigger than them. No, it's not. It's not about that. It's like give them nothing and they give us nothing. That's what it's all about.
This is why it's one of the world's great rivalries in sport. Long may it continue. I love it. Martin Compston, detective in...
No, he got your rank wrong earlier.
This
He's
is-
not
this is
calling
a
you
disgrace,
DI.
Martin.
She's on this, Martin. I don't know what's the buzz about it.
It's a
What
big
is-
You
thing,
give me a
isn't it?
promotion, Johnny.
I'll give you a promotion, Martin. I'll call
He
you
gave you a
detective inspector.
promotion. He called you DI.
Ah, right.
I
DI
mean-
Dapper.
DI Dapper.
So what is he, detective what?
DS.
A
DS
D-
on it.
Detective superintendent, is that what it is?
The one below Vicky, as she constantly reminds me.
It goes DI,
Yes.
SC,
Yeah.
and then O.
Okay, there's enough...
DISCO.
Martin, thanks
I'm
very
ringing
much
a
for
bit,
joining us. Yes,
Martin.
yes. Enjoy your shoot.